Hi everyone, Esther here, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I really appreciate your time, and I hope the information I'm going to share with you will add a little bit more to your wisdom, to your knowledge, and you can understand the sky better, which can really improve your life. Please don't forget to subscribe and like if you think your information can be in benefit for you. Now, what's really important, I want us to discuss what's happening right now in the sky with Mercury. Even though Mercury already started his retrograde a few days ago, it's still going through very, very, very important process, which can affect absolutely all of us. But first, I want us to remind us what is really Mercury, right? So Mercury, it's an oily planet. It's your communication consciousness, your speech skills, right? It's your translator between moon, sun, and all the other solar system stars. There's a reason why Mercury is placed directly under the sun. We really need to think about. So, because ancients called Mercury a wisdom messenger, a scribe of the superior sun. So to understand this energy and benefit from it, we can look at the retrograde periods, and as a homework, not something that we can scare and we can feel, the chaos that's coming. It's simple homework creation, provide us another opportunity to come back and to evaluate things. Perhaps we're planning and we're already in the process that we need to, so to say, to come back and to revisit what we study in school, what we already learned, who we meet, who we right now interact, our new relationship as well. And, it's per ancients, it rules astrology, by the way. It's really important. So usually when I look at people's chart and I can see strong Mercury, and especially if Mercury in his own houses, it's very, very important because Mercury can tell a lot about your personal way, how you using your mind, and if your mind using you. This is another way to put Mercury in Hebrew, as you can see, especially create for you this beautiful design. Well, I need to compliment myself sometimes. And in this view, you can see I integrate the tree of life, which is really, really important, because for us to understand our dimension, we really need to understand where we came from and what in hidden reality really is happening, because we live in Ulam Sheker, it's called in Hebrew, the world of lies. So we really need to open our mind and that's such an extent to really to understand what's really happening in a higher level. And what's really, really amazing in ancients, in Hebrew, it's called Kochav Chama. Now, Chama, you can see in my error, in Hebrew, it's a sun. But real name of Mercury, it's Kochav, a star. And in Hebrew, it's called Kochav Chama. It's the sun's star, is the star of the sun. So it's literally, it's showing us this is actually, even like in the family group of planets, it's like a son, like a child to the sun. Sometimes uncontrollable child, but it's really, really important child. It's a really important star, which is the really intermediate communication with other solar system stars, which is really, really important. And in Babylonian, in Mesopotamia, by the way, they combined those two words together, and Babylonians used to call Mercury Kachabu. Okay, Kachabu. Yeah, this is how it's called. Now, we need to understand something about really Mercury retrograde in general, because it's inflicted if, for example, I always recommend for you guys to open your own chart and to get know your own chart, because it's a lot of different details involved for you to understand for your specific chart as well. And I mentioned in my previous videos always, we need to remember the Mercury retrograde, its effect, 85% of people, 85% of people born with Mercury retrograde or Mercury combusted, they burnt Mercury. So for example, if you open your chart and you see, if you know, then you're born during the Mercury retrograde, this is almost like your normal state. You know, you need to do your homework, you know, you need to sit and really spend time to give the effort, because the 15% of people who born with progress Mercury is the genius one, who usually, you remember in school, the homework was always easy for them, and they just need to read quickly and they already got the concept. And for most of us, we need to sit and do homework, and this is a good thing. Actually, you earned your process, so to say, because many times what's come easy for us, we don't have the same level of appreciation. And Mercury retrograde give us opportunity to come back, to reevaluate, and perhaps by revisiting, we can change our initial thought, what we really thought it's actually good for us to go. Okay, it's really, really important for us to appreciate. Now, if, for example, you're born with combust Mercury, what is the combust Mercury? It's first of all when Mercury very closer to your sun. We can see start from obvious one, which is it's completely conjunct, which is we're going to experience, by the way, in the May 1st. I'm going to show you after sky. You will see what's going to happen with Mercury. It's one of the difficult positions for Mercury to be. It's to be combusted by the sun. And anything within 5, even some say to 7 degree, when Mercury closer to the sun, it can be considered combusted. But most, it's when perfectly conjunction with the sun, 3 degree and 5 degree. Then really, for you, if you do have such a combination in your initial natal chart, you can feel sometimes a foggy head. Sometimes you need to write things and, you know, to really work on your memory. And again, it's a good thing if you know how to deal, how to approach and appreciate that. Okay, so just a kind of side note for you guys to understand the Mercury a little bit. Now, when Mercury goes retrograde, it may feel like we're suddenly riding horse backward. You know, it feels like you're a little bit dizzy, possibly even silly and completely useless. Sometimes you feel you plan your day a certain way, and then you wake up, you're trying to really put yourself together, and you need to make some changes. And this is okay as well, as far you feel balance. Now, over here, I want to show you something, guys. It's really, really important. You see, this is a Hebrew letter Resh. Hebrew letter Resh, it's this Hebrew letter create Mercury. If you're new to Kabbalah knowledge, it's probably sounds a little bit foreign to you. How come some kind of letter can create star? But as we know, according to Kabbalistic knowledge, first of all, Hebrew alphabet, it's not just any letter, it's really life organisms, and they really connect to high vibration. The whole universe is actually created within Hebrew alphabet. Each star on our solar system was created by a certain letter. And the letter responsible for Mercury, it's Resh. Now, what another thing we need to remember with tree of life reality, it's the energy of Mercury. It's actually in the sphera called Chokhmah. It's the sphera of wisdom. It's extremely important sphera because this is three sferot. If you know the tree of life reality a little bit, we have three sferot. It's Keter, Chokhmah, and Binah. They actually not really connect to our dimension. Our dimension, it's Malchut. And then we have Zeranpin. Zeranpin, it's all other 6 sferot, which is under the 3 spherots here. Okay, I'm giving you just a very quick preview. If you're really new to it, no worries. I do recommend to start your process, study Kabbalah, because Kabbalistic knowledge only will help you and it will improve whatever spirituality you practice. Kabbalah, it's not religious, it's a spirituality, it's the foundation of creation of the world, and it can explain to you and help you to understand what is the process of giving and receiving, what is the cause and effect, the world of angels, the whole universe, how it works. It's really beautiful thing. It's your soul knows all this information. We came to this world to refresh our memory in order for us to fully practice the creator within us. Okay, so just for you to know how important Mercury, because he's connecting to the highest of the highest before the Keter, the crown, it's connecting to Or Chokhmah. And Or Chokhmah, it's actually responsible for our mission in life, for our purpose in life. And this is something really important when we're working with your chart. one of my main mission is to help you to understand what is really MC, midheaven, in your chart. What is the mission, how it's connected to the Or Chokhmah, and how by you connecting to your mission and to really start to do what you came to do in this world, your physical body start to heal on completely different level. Okay, so let's come back, guys, and understand what's happened with the stars. I'm going to show you the chart, what's happening right now in the, sorry, my apology, we don't need that. I'm going to connect, I'm going to show you somewhere. There you go. So what I did, I actually place right away on May 1st, and I can explain to you after why. Mercury transit from Aries from actually, yes, transit is going to be transit from Aries from March 31st to June 7th, which is longer than usual to Mercury retrograde. Now, the Mercury cycle starts already on April 21st through May 14th. So today I'm making video on April 25th, but it's already started a few days ago. And it's actually now it's really important to understand what's going to happen during this period of time, because a lot of other planets involved, because it's a stressing again the tender power of Mercury and Mars, because the Mars through May 10, through May 10, and I think, yes, it's from May 10, Mercury begins a 3-week back starting. Okay, so from April 21st, the power is there, but we may need to be recalibrating. So right now we're going through the period where we really a little bit start to feel uncertain about actually, our financial, our home where we live, how we're going to continue. Now it's really, really more stronger because we have a huge effect of Mars coming right now, okay? Because the last week of April and the first half of May, we need to try not to really control our nervous system and get busy, doing active sharings, get busy even more to study, because our nervous system going to be really activated more than ever. Why we will think the cosmic energy need to send us this whole influence? Because we came to this dimension really to go through ups and downs. And when you really start to practice spirituality, you not necessarily see this really as a down or up. You see just as a necessary process. It's like a breathing. When you inhale, you experience a process of receiving. When you exhale, you experience a process of giving, and as well giving in order again to receive. So this is the concept. It's everything. It's about motion. So we need to understand there's no such a thing negative. We always attract to ourselves what we actually create. Now, let's take another look at the exchange of sign between Mercury and Mars, in why it's really important. I'm going to show you something over here on May 1st. We have in the total conjunctions of Mercury and Sun. You can see my arrow, right? So it's on May 1st. So the process, I'm going to back a little bit to April 30th. I'm going to show you something. And we're going to April 29. Already from April 29, we already start to feel more strong energy, because we're talking about the 3 degrees. Remember, every time when certain conjunction needs to happen, it's usually 3 degrees before and after. We're already in a zone of this energy force, okay? So I would say on April 29, we're going to feel a little bit, and it's going to be, by the way, the good news, it's actually on Saturday and Shabbat. And when it starts on Shabbat, it's excellent, because we're going to start the seed with spirituality. And Shabbat, it belongs to Saturn. It's Saturn called Shabtai. And it represents Shabbat, it represents Kabbalah, by the way, Saturn, and it represents Judaism. But Judaism, it's not religious, it's a spirituality. We need to kind of to understand that as well. Whatever it's been changed, by religious environment or anyone practice this as religious, it's one thing. But again, I'm going to come back again to Mercury. So what's happening here? Let's really observe. First of all, don't forget we have Rahu not far, and we have Jupiter just start to enter coming from Pisces. Even though he's in 1 degree on Aries, he's still touching Pisces, and he's still not in the best, most positive degrees of Pisces, of Aries, but still he's entering. And very, very soon we're going to start to feel Jupiter energy, more benefit from Jupiter energy. But because it's a Rahu going to be involved, and he's right now involved in this process as well, even though he's only 9 degree, he's still kind of in around. Okay, so we need to keep in mind because he loves to bring some chaos and uncertainty. Now, what is really happening here? Let me come back to May 1st. So you will see in more perfect conjunction. Okay, you see we have 17 degree of Mercury and Sun. When Mercury and Sun conjunct in this matter, it's called combustion. When a planet combust, it means she's been overwhelmed by other planet energy. And don't forget, it's not just any combustion. It's the Aries, Sun in a full glory. He's actually has a lot of ego in Aries. It's it's a head, it's everything becomes superior, it's everything become more bombast and more bigger, and it's more reactive, and many times you do and then you think. And when Mercury here, he's really getting a lot of influence by Sun, and he's really overwhelmed by Sun. So what my recommendation for you guys? Speak less. This is number one. Definitely is always not just think before you speak. Recognize what kind of thoughts was created by your mind, because you are not your mind, you are soul. And if your mind not cooperate with your heart, your mind completely controlling, and he's not really benefiting you. What's really, really important for us to remember, the mind was given to us to recognize, then we are the one who is supposed to be in control. Because remember, closer to 97 of our thoughts when it comes to our mind, they're not necessarily been invited by us. It just came and it starts to create, plant the seed. And then you sometimes don't even know why your mood change, what's happened with you. So what really ancients teaching us, especially tzaddikim, righteous, in Hebrew it's tzaddik. One of my favorite righteous I want to mention, it's Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov used to live in 17th century, end of the 16th, 17th century. He's the one who created Hasidut. He's one of the big Kabbalists ever exist. He's one of the amazing souls, the biggest heart you can imagine. And Baal Shem Tov always taught his students, we need to look at our thoughts as a foreign identity. When they arrive to you, think about it like a sperm. How many sperms comes inside of a woman body? Millions, but only one create baby. How we allowed so many thoughts to resonate and stay in our mind? We need to be in control. And always remember, your mind, it's not garbage collector. You do not need to receive so much information. You need to be very careful and nourish what information it's going to serve you before you let it to stay inside. So again, I'm going to mention what Baal Shem Tov give us tips here. Every time we thought arrive, we need to stop and recognize, is this something being invited by you, or is it just, again, just pop up because it's, because we in our eyes connect to too many things. When it's arrived, it's up to you to cancel right away before it's gonna really plant this seed to create baby, so to say. Or there's maybe something important arrive, but you're in the middle of something else. So you can tell your thoughts, because you need to speak with yourself inside of your body. Remember, we're all cuckoo. We just need to know how to control these so many identities happening inside of us, especially depends on our map. And instead to go and take some chemicals. Of course, if somebody have chemical imbalance, I'm not here to tell you guys not to. But if you simply didn't even start your process work on yourself, it's really important to recognize how powerful you are and how many things you can change within you. and to suddenly realize then you are much stronger, much more in control than you ever imagined. So this period of time, until I would say May 5th, because don't forget on May 5th, I'm going to show you right now, we're going to have lunar eclipse, which is really important, right? Let me show you what's going to happen here. So when we're going to have they go May 5th. Let me see. May 5th. Yes. So you can see we have a moon in Libra. Let me just move over here. Yeah. Yeah. We have a moon in Libra. Yes, because don't forget, I do not practice Western astrology. We're practicing direct sky sidereal system. It's very similar to Vedic calculation, and we have a moon in Libra, which is really, really close still to Ketu, and it's very karmic position for the relationship. And we have Mercury, which is can help us if we know how to use this Mercury. It can help us to really to prepare us to new journey, to new destiny, because after this moon eclipse, because moon eclipse, it's more connected to us, because solar eclipse, it's connect more to collective consciousness, to leaders, to people who really in charge because of the sun, are superior. When we're talking about lunar eclipse, it's really connected to our orpnimi, our insight light, our emotional body as well, and as well our mind. And because when we have lunar eclipse, which is in a position of Mercury, it's very, very important, because Mercury represents our mind. Moon knows how to trigger our mind. This is the days when you need to stay super cautious what comes from your mouth, but most important, what thoughts inside of you, because the thoughts, it's more important than already what result comes from your mouth. Stay away from any conflicts. If you need to confront someone, there's the art of confrontation. We need to learn how to confront. You always need to come from place of care, from place of total picture, to understand this confrontation not here just to benefit you. You need to sit on the chair of other person. This is the really proper way to understand the communication, because confrontation, it's part of the very important tools of communication. Don't forget, Libras came to this world to learn how to confront. They don't know how to confront. They always try to make everyone happy, and they forget about themselves. And confrontation, it's important part of Libras. And because Aries, they confront before they think, they both those signs came to learn from each other how to communicate. What is really relationship? Really, really important, because the whole universe, it's everything about relationship. Relationship with yourself, a relationship with people around you, relationship with the creation, relationship with the creator in a higher self within you, and in higher level. So it's really important. And what we have here Rahu. We have here already Jupiter, in emotion, very important. So very, very important eclipse, and Mercury going to be a huge part of it. So just pay attention. We need to stay, I would say, let's run a little bit over here. We're going to separate a little bit Mercury from all this situation, because Mercury going soon conjunct let's see, with Jupiter as well. There you go. Okay, I think on 15, let's go to 15, with Mercury finish his retrogression, and he's going to move forward before he's going to be stationary. Okay, so we have a 15, there you go. So we have Mercury here, 11 degrees, and he's finished his retrograde. He's already feel more with more energy, more focus, excellent, and Sun already much further. So it's excellent. And then let's move another few days, because I want us to see, it's really, really important position for Mercury. And let's see. Okay. So on May 15, we already start to feel a little bit better. The Mercury will gain his light more. It's more focused. After May 15, you already can start to plan new events. Okay, even though don't forget, we're in the middle of Omer, 49 days after Passover, before Shavuot. We have a 49th period where we usually don't marry, we don't start anything new, except we do have a Lag BaOmer. This is another day. If those of you who practice, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have time right now to explain, but look what's happening here. May 17, extremely important, on Wednesday. It's the day of Mercury. I want you to look at this because Wednesday, remember, Wednesday is the Mercury day. Look what's happened. We have a conjunction of, it's unbelievable. We have conjunction of Moon, we have conjunction of Rahu and Jupiter. This is very, very karmic days, because this is the days where we create the seed of literally for another few years to come. Because remember, this type of combination, it's almost like a karmic opening. It's like a portal channel we have few times a year. With such a conjunction, they create this almost like a salad. You know, when you put many ingredients together, it's like a different taste, because when you taste everything separate, it's one thing, but when you put together everything as a mix, you really have another identity. Very, very important days. I'm going to make another video because we have important things happening with Jupiter on upcoming in May. I'm going to make another video. But what I really want you guys to understand, until 15, and I would say even including 17, when we're going through this period of time, according to your own natal chart, when you check and you see, you know yourself, and but at the same time, remember, we don't know ourselves. Why? Because if we know ourselves mainly from the short circuit, from the place of our reactive nature and the place before we start to practice spiritual tools, it's the one thing. When you start to practice spiritual tools, not just study, not just to have nice conversation, really apply, you realize you become somebody then you didn't even know who you are. And it's the most beautiful, liberating thing for the soul when we're going through this process. It's almost like every time, step by step, you're reborn. You're reborn more and more and more. And also, you know, like it's like a burning phoenix when you really arrive and you see who you are and you observe your past and you look how you behave and decision you make from really limited understanding of this reality, then you suddenly realize how powerful we are when we start to apply spiritual tools, really apply. And extremely, I want to remind you guys, the environment, it's really important. The people who are surround you, what kind of energy they produce. If you feel, then you know you live in an environment with people who are very conflicted, let's say, and it's hard for you. If there's any way for you to time came perhaps to move and to find new environment, but if this is your family as well, try to see how you can balance by growing. And when you're growing spiritually, don't change anyone. Don't try to be righteous and teach everyone in your family how to be. They will see your transformation, they will see your changes, and this is what's actually going to affect them. The same thing with our children. Remember, we can tell our children many things, but end of the day, our children observing us, they see if we volunteer, how we speak about others, how much we're giving, how we using the tools of restrictions. And this is always the best way to influence you know, the energy around you. By changing your energy within you, you're going to change your outside and you're going to attract completely different blessings. I think that's all what I'm going to tell you guys. So I wish all of us many blessings to be strong, because spiritual person came here to really to straight the muscle of our soul, our not even our soul, our heart, our mind all together. Okay, and I wish you all the best, guys. Bye bye.